Alrighty, guys, welcome to Q Sports Live. We have the one and only Mr. John Schmidt joining me on the mic. My name, of course, is Grant. Pleasure to have you, John. How you been?
Good. Glad to be here.
Very good. Had a good little trip up from the States. Took a drive up. Saw some beautiful country. We'll just let the viewership build up a little bit. Get into some specifics of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But I had a good drive up with you. We got to see a little bit of scenery.
Yeah, we drove from Spokane up through Sandpoint and Bonner's Ferry. That was really, really nice, really scenic. I've always liked that area, but I've never been through that part of Canada. So when we went up through, what was it, the 93 North?
Correct.
I believe.
Yeah.
Wow, there was like one area in America that we're most proud of is Yosemite, and it's unbelievable. But it's only really unbelievable for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
This was like 9 straight hours of the most unreal scenery. I mean, you guys really do live in paradise up here, and Canada is beautiful.
Well, it's funny because you kind of take it for granted being a Canadian.
Right,
We back onto the Rockies, and we somewhat take it for granted.
Yeah, it's easy to when you get to see it all the time. But what an amazing place and nice people. I was lucky enough to live over in, I think it was called Abbotsford, 7 years ago for about 7 months, and I loved it over in British Columbia. I'm married to a Canadian woman, Felicity Wynn Paris, if she's out there listening. Great girl, and just love it when she says the Canadian stuff like oot and a boot and we're hooped, and just all her little Canadian sayings is so cute. And I'm here watching a hockey game, the Calgary Flyers, I think they're
Calgary
called.
Flames.
Oh, the Flames, and they're up 1-0, and so there's a real buzz here in the pool room. Everybody watching
there
the
is,
hockey
and
game.
I got to admit I'm a little distracted by it. It's game one of playoffs, so I am a little distracted by it. But I'll keep my focus, my attention where it needs to be.
Well, I've only watched one hockey game live in my life down in Ontario, California, and I knew nothing about hockey. I didn't know the rules or nothing. And I saw this one guy, and all of a sudden his gloves came off and hit the ice, and I thought, well, that's weird. Is he trying to tie his shoelaces or something? Why would he take his gloves off? And I figured out real quick what was going on.
Yeah, right.
When they started throwing dukes,
Yeah, well, when the gloves come off, I mean, that's some exciting times in hockey, that's for sure. So a little bit of a different setup for those that are tuned in compared to what we're normally acclimated to. Usually it's not the camera on me and whoever's commentating. We usually have it on the pool table, so I apologize if it's a little bit dark. It's not certainly how we normally set things up and give you a view of the table and so on and so forth. But let's get into it a little bit as far as the reasons as to why we're here and why you happen to be in Canada.
Well, I'm fortunate enough at this stage in my life and career to kind of choose where I go, when I go.
Absolutely.
And I hit it off with you guys in Vegas, and I love Canada. I've always loved Canada. And when you said, hey, why don't you come up to the Calgary area? It's a place I've never been. Stay with us. So obviously you've helped me a lot on the expenses. And try to break this record, do some lessons. It's a hot pool scene here. We think people would appreciate having you around. And so it just seemed like a natural fit, and here I am.
Well, and we're happy to have you, John. I mean, as I got to know you through Vegas, and we hit it off rather well, and you're my kind of people. Let me tell you, you've got a great attitude. Yeah. You're very approachable.
Yeah, for sure.
For a guy that has been through it in the pool world, right? World-class pro player, won some titles, broke a few records. You're still a humble guy. You're still really easy to approach, really easy to talk to.
I'm just like you. We both just play pool. I mean, the level that we play means nothing. We both like pool. And so that's a common bond. Just like you see two guys on a motorcycle, they kind of wave as they go by. One guy could be riding a dual sport and the other guy a $30,000 Harley. We still acknowledge each other. Yeah. And I feel the same way about pool. If you like pool and I like pool, we've got something in common, and that's an easy way to start a friendship.
I agree. And you know what? You've got a few wits about you as well. So, I mean, it's a pleasure to be around you.
I joke around about a lot of stuff for sure, yeah.
That's for sure. But, I mean, the main reason why I think we're here, as you can see behind me, we've got an open space right now. We're a little bit delayed with some logistical issues in
trying to get
getting tables and so on and so forth. So we were supposed to start your runs on the straight pool record, or making the run at it. We were supposed to start that this week. Going to change a little bit. We'll probably get into some runs maybe mid next week. We'll start that. You're here for 3 weeks. So,
yeah, we got time.
In the meantime and in between time, we'll have some lessons, some group clinics, all kinds of things. So if you guys are in the if you guys are in the Calgary area, even if you're in a province over, right, BC, Saskatchewan, it's not often that that Canada gets to see the likes of a caliber like yourself. And,
well, thank you. Yeah, when it comes to lessons, what I try to do in a 2-hour lesson, it's tough because I'm going to try to compress what I've learned from 20 years of playing the best players in the world into 2 hours for somebody. But I do feel that I have, I'm capable of making somebody a better player if you give me a chance. So I'd love to have you come down and take lessons. Also, like the cheap sets, really that's like a playing lesson also. I did a little bit of that today, and that's a lot of fun because then I get to play and sort of teach a little bit. And so
I think you get a little bit better bang for your dollar that way too.
Yeah, I think so. But when I give lessons, I really try hard. I'm really wanting you to become a better player. It doesn't look good on me if somebody says, well, how was the lesson with John? Well, he's a nice guy, but I didn't really get him better. I want you to get better. Yeah. Okay, that's a win-win for everybody. Gets me more lesson work. So when you come take a lesson with me, pack a lunch because we're going to go after it,
Well, and I've kind of seen some of that. I mean, obviously I've got things to do during the day and so on and so forth, so I just kind of drop you out at the pool hall, let you do your thing. But for what I have been around, I mean, you've got every aspect of the game down, right? I mean, the mental side and what shot to play and all of those kinds of things. So, I mean, it's not just a shallow lesson where I'm going to teach you, this is how you stand properly and fix your stroke and all these things. It's really, really an in-depth.
Yeah, I try to go in depth, and I mean, that's how I learned. I was lucky enough to have world-class players show me things, and boy, it speeds up the process. So I'll be here. People can get a hold of me through you.
Yeah,
my rates are pretty simple. I charge $150 American for 2 hours. I talk fast, so you're really getting about 2.5 hours of instruction, and the lesson usually runs over 2 hours anyway, just because if I want to really imprint something into your brain, we're going to do it. Come get a lesson.
And I mean,
with me.
You get to walk away with some enhanced knowledge and some sore cheeks from laughing.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy showing the one pocket or the straight pull or the rotation, jumping, breaking, kicking, what ice cream Shane Van Boning likes. It doesn't matter. I mean, speaking of Shane Van Boning, he's a funny guy. We asked Shane one time, hey, Shane, what do you think of Obama? And Shane says, he can't beat me. So I always like to tell that little story.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty funny. So Shane's got a good sense of humor.
For sure. I've got to kind of hang around you for, ever since we really left Spokane. I've been able to kind of have your undivided attention.
Sure.
And let me tell you got some stories.
Oh, yeah.
You got some stories.
You play pool to pay the bills for 27 years like I have. And, I mean, I've been through all kind of stuff, good, bad, or indifferent. But somebody was talking one time about, what pool pays and all this stuff. And I said, look, you ask most people what their most exciting day is of their life, and they have to think. Well, I've got about 20,000 of those days. If you locked me away in a room, I could literally just relive the past and entertain myself. And some of it's been awful stuff, but I won't forget it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Well, let's switch gears a little bit, John, if you don't mind. Try and get to know John on a little bit more of a personal level.
Okay.
For those that don't know, I can't imagine who, but for those that don't know quite everything about John. So what is it that, number one, got you into pool originally? And then what kept you here?
Well, my brother, God rest his soul, he's passed away now about 5 years ago.
I'm sorry.
My younger brother one day came home and said, hey, you want to go down to this place called Boyce's Billiards? And I said, what is that? He goes, it's a pool hall, which I didn't really know what that meant either. Now, I was a golfer at the time, and anybody that golfs knows that, like, when you hit a good shot with an iron, it puts a lot of spin on the ball. When it hits the green, it kind of spins back. That's a good strike, So I go down to the pool hall, and I play like, I don't know, race to 10 or something against.
And how old are you at this
point?
I
was about 18. I started playing pool a little late, I suppose. Yep. So I'm like a month from 18, and we play. And I remember as we walked out the door, this guy was hitting a draw shot. I didn't even know that's what you called it. But I said, whoa, how did you make that ball go backwards like that? So, hey, I'm the owner. My boy's real nice guy and a pro caliber player. He says, you aim low And so he showed me, and now this is my first day playing pool, and he's got me to like make the cue ball come backwards, and I just was like,
"Oh, you're hooked."
I didn't even, my brother and I were like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And so he says, you got to come down and play in the tournament. We have an A, B, C, and D. You'll be a D. And so I come down and pay my little $5. It was about half the money I had in the whole world. And I never won a match for like a month straight. I came down every Friday night, went 2 and out, loved every minute of it. Then I eventually like won a game. I eventually won a match. I eventually won the tournament. And here we are. So, I mean, that's really how I started. I was fascinated. I saw people playing money games. Oh, I'll tell you something else that happened. I remember seeing the movie The Color of Money.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Great movie.
And I didn't know that Grady Seasons in the movie was an actual pro player, right?
Yeah.
But I was fascinated by the movie. I walked into Boyce's Billiards, I kid you not, about 6 months into my new pool thing, and there's the guy. I'm like, that's the guy from the movie. And I'm watching him play, and I'm like, oh, my God, he's actually as good as he was in the movie.
Yeah.
What's the deal? And they're like, well, he's a world-class player. That's Keith McCready, who I'd end up in my career playing a ton of times.
Yeah.
So really a fascinating start. And the money games, of course, attracted me. I really was riveted by 2 guys battling it out for big money. That was quite exciting.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that spin on a ball. Recently, I was just in New York and had the privilege of traveling around with Ira.
Oh, yeah, 3-cushion monster. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, crazy good, insanely smart individual.
Yes,
and
he is.
We got onto the topic of, what keeps people in the game. And we kind of summarized it down to players having the capability to influence a spherical object and make it do things that physically should not be possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that to me kind of speaks to you going down, learning the draw shot right from the start.
I mean, if I wouldn't have seen that, I would have walked out the door and probably thought, pool's boring. I'm going to go back to my golf.
Yeah.
Might have never heard of me, but when I saw that, it interested me. With pool, it's like, the pleasure of small motions and the visuals stimulation you get and seeing the ball spin and click and bounce around and all the colors. I mean, it's visually a very interesting game when you watch pool. I mean, I'm still fascinated by it. I've been playing it almost 30 years. So I think
a crazy
it's
amount
a great,
of time.
Yeah, I've been playing almost 30 years, 27 years.
27.
Yeah.
Now, is that 27 professionally or about 20?
No, probably 20. 24, 23 professionally. And, of course, my first couple years as a professional was pretty meager. I was learning and getting better.
That happens, I think, with
I'll tell
everybody.
you, the scariest day of your life, for sure, as a pool player, at least it was for me, was the day that I actually quit my job. And like day one, I'm sitting in the pool hall, like, okay, I'm a pro now. Like, where do they send the checks? How do I sign up? And I remember my buddy Bobby Hunter telling me, like, to get really good, you're gonna have to quit your job.
Yeah,
you're gonna to turn pro, you're gonna have to quit your job. So I quit my job. I come in, he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, I did it, Bob. I quit my job. And he's like, are you crazy? And I'm like, well, and so that's kind of how. I
love that.
Yeah, that's how it started. And he was like, okay, it's on now. Go here and
now
go
you
there.
Got to get the hustle on.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a sink or swim thing. When you're, I mean, I've lost all my money and slept in my car many times. But you learn
stories.
Oh God, Grant, you learn so much when you lose. And when you lose, I mean, you really don't learn much from the wins, but the losses taught me a lot and what I could have done different. And, I mean, just over the years, all the experiences, I wouldn't trade them in for anything. Pool has afforded me tons of friends, and I've got to see the world. It's been quite a ride. Yeah,
Unreal.
It's been quite a ride. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I mean, You've had such a great career, and I mean it's not over yet. We're gonna get you back on the track and start banging away. But you kind of alluded to it at the start of this last conversation, and the fact that you played a little golf as well.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing I was into the most when I was a youngster. Where I live, pretty much all we do is play golf or ride dirt bikes. So I grew up in Southern California, and I played high school golf and a couple years of collegiate community college golf, which it was still really competitive. I mean, you had to be able to get up there from the back tees and shoot 75 or 6 on a tough golf course just to make the team. There was none of the shooting 86 stuff and being on college team. I mean, so it was a really competitive thing. The only thing that really held me back in golf is I'm a small, weak guy. I couldn't hit it 300 yards like other people and stuff. And so pool kind of attracted me because you could be, you don't have to be big and strong to do well. But, yeah, golf, I played golf from the time I was 12 till I was 21, and then I didn't touch a club from 21 till about 30. And then from 30 to 33, I was obsessed with it, quit again. And then at about 42 to 45 was really obsessed with it. But no, that's not right because I haven't played in 7 years. So that was about 40 to 42 I was really obsessed. And then I haven't played in about 6 years. Played 9 holes in Wyoming with my buddies and was awful.
But caliber-wise, you'd still be
I don't know. I mean, I would probably be pretty awful now. I haven't played in a long time, yeah. But
well, I guess it depends on excuse me, on your definition of terrible.
Yeah.
Because I would play terrible, right? Now,
well,
I'm addicted to golf. I enjoy it.
It is fun.
Right?
Yeah.
But for me to hit it down the fairway, I mean, the stars and the moon and the
universe
universe more has to align for me.
It's like anything. You have to play it a ton to get any good at it. The thing about pool, what holds pool back is like if you go to a pro golf tournament, I mean, somebody that's never played golf in their life could watch Rory McIlroy stripe a drive 330 yards against a blue sky. I mean, it's visually like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, when Dennis Orculo gets up and whacks a shot in off the end rail with side spin and makes it, like nobody even claps.
Yeah.
Like that's the equivalent of whacking in a 1-iron.
Yeah.
And so golf, like hitting a golf ball off a tee relatively straight is not hard at all. I can do it today, and I don't even play golf anymore.
Yep.
Get up there and play pool, and you haven't played in a while, and you just can't make anything.
Yeah.
They're both difficult. I'm not saying golf's harder or easier.
Well, they are.
I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
I was just going to say we could go down a whole tangent rabbit hole there. But
I'll tell you one thing that does make pool difficult, and I don't think it gets the credit it deserves, is you cannot name me a game where you hit a stick into a ball. Every game is like a stick into a ball, tennis, golf, yada, yada.
Correct.
Pool is a stick into a ball, into a target, and then you throw in a thing called deflection. I mean, my God, it's like a nightmare.
You could also throw in the old combination, so you stick to a ball, to a ball, to a ball.
That's right. Yeah, pool is basically, to be world-class at anything, it's super hard, whether it's bowling, pool, basketball, whatever. So I'm not going to sit up here and say pool's harder than something else, but it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
I would completely agree.
When people watch good players play, they go, I could do that. You just move your arm, the balls go in.
Yeah.
So, you go watch bull riding or something. If you've never been to a bull riding contest, you're like, you're going to ride a bull, a 2,000-pound bull? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
But when you go, hey, I'm going to hit this shot jacked up with inside English, that's about as dangerous, So, I don't know. Yeah.
Very nice.
How's your Calgary guys?
Well, we're still leading 1-0. We're at 3:50-ish in the first to go. So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah, they play a little hockey up here in Canada, don't they?
We might play a little hockey.
I like your national anthem. I actually, I get choked, really, when I listen to our national anthem. It really means a lot to me. When I was listening to yours, it's pretty epic. The words and the meaning, and I really listened to the words during the beginning of the hockey game, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a good one.
It is. Yeah. It is. Very patriotic.
It's very patriotic, yeah.
On our side of the border.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
To us, it means a lot, the same as it does to, the American anthem.
Well,
means the same to Americans.
For me, like, you remember when you watch Rocky IV, and he gets out of the limo in Russia, and he looks up, and the first thing he sees is that Russian flag. Yeah. And it was like, you could see the look on his face like, holy cow, it's on like Donkey Kong. I'm in Russia. Yeah. Well, I'm in Canada. I see the Canada flag, and it just kind of like takes me back like, wow, I'm really in Canada. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, you were kind of, get a little personal, but you were kind of tripping out every time we were driving and saw that Canada flag, right?
Yeah, I'm so used to seeing the American flag, and it really gets me. And I love Canada. Like I said, my wife's Canadian, so I'm all about Canada.
Yeah.
Thrilled to be here. The people are great, and that's half the reason I decided to come here to do this, because I knew it would just be a comfortable atmosphere.
Yeah,
and it's great. We had a nice big dinner at your house last night with a ton of friends, and I drank a half a bottle of Cabernet. Like, I'm settling right in here. Yeah.
Well, that'll always be the way it is with us, right? We're pretty accommodating, especially particularly in my house, right? We've got a lot of people that come over and play, and we have a good group of friends here. So
great people. Yeah.
So listen, we're glad to have you here in Canada, and I do want to touch a little bit into kind of the schedule again. Mm-hmm. So maybe mid next week, depending on how delivery tail goes and so on.
See how things go.
Yeah, we'll get into doing the attempts at the straight pool record. And in between that time, we'll do some lessons and clinics.
Yeah.
And I want to open it up to our viewers. And Sandy Badger, pool, golf, and poker.
No, I'm no
That's
good
the
at
life.
Yeah, I'm no good at poker though. I don't know how to play poker, and I don't even play golf anymore. Although I do really miss it.
Yeah.
But you know the thing about this record attempts that I'm going to make, you know, I think the older players are going to find it interesting because, myself included, I just turned 49. When you get a little older, and I'm having to like use reading glasses to read fine print, you start questioning yourself, like, am I still good enough? Do I still have it? So this will be kind of an interesting experiment for me and everybody watching on how a guy at 49 can perform, how I can do. You know, it's kind of like one for the old guys, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
absolutely. And you can't take anything away from what Jason did,
no,
his accomplishment.
Incredible what he did.
You know, incredible for sure.
Yep.
But I think if there was anybody that could give him a run for the money, I'm sitting beside him.
Yeah, I think I can produce numbers still. I did something last week. I like to, you know, tell the stories where I'm the hero, but I ran 309 last week on my diamond, and
so I want to touch on that,
yeah,
right? Because that 309 on a diamond table is a massive record. I don't think it quite hits home with really how difficult that is.
Well, the thing is, you know, obviously it's practice, and there's no crowd, and there's no pressure, no money.
Sure.
So I can understand that. But the high run on a diamond, since we played straight pull on diamonds, was done in 09 by me. I ran 294, and I believe Darren Appleton has ran 294 also. So that's been the record on a diamond up until last week. Now, last week I used a template because, you know, Jason Shaw did a template. I said, let me try a template. And I polished up the balls. You know, I'm using an old cloth, but I polished up the balls, made them real slick, and I ran 309. I ran 113 and scratched on the break, and then I kept going and ran 309 more. It would have been 422 if I don't scratch.
Wow.
So it kind of showed me, like, man, the template does change the game. And it kind of gave me a boost of confidence that
100%
that I'm not over the hill or you know, sliding down.
I mean, as pool players, I think we all know that, you know, having a good confidence going into anything is always going to help, right? It's such a mental game. Pool, in general, it's not just the straight pool, right? You've got 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, bank pool, all these games, and a lot of that is mental side.
Well, 6 months ago, I had a lipoma removed out of my right palm that was up against a nerve, and it was brutal, and they cut me open. It was, you know, put me under the whole 9 yards, and I was only able to start hitting balls a few months ago. So, you know, I started thinking, like, you know, my eyes are going, I just had my hand cut on, and I'm almost 100 years old. Like, I don't, you know, so that 309 kind of came out of the blue. I'd have never thought I could do that. Because 309 on a diamond is
that's an accomplishment.
It's my high run of my life. It's the high run on a diamond. So, you know, that kind of makes me think, like, I might do something pretty juicy here this week. I'm hoping, because I know you're going to get me a table that's set up right. I might not break Jason's record. That record might never get broke. But I'll tell you something else that would be cool for me. That'd be a little feather in my cap. I'd like to set the Canadian record. I did, you know, and I don't know what that'd be, but let's say I run. You see, I think Elaine Martell ran 408. I've heard rumors of that. So I have to run like over 408 to have the Canadian record, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say I've got the highest run ever in Canada until somebody breaks it. You know,
absolutely.
Whatever that
means.
I
mean, really, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, we're gonna do some things, right? We'll have a GoFundMe page. We'll have. You know, a couple of the CSL sweepstake giveaways.
Okay, right on.
You know, those types of things. And we really want to throw our support behind you.
Well, thank you.
And I'm hoping that the viewers and word gets around, and they'll come in, take some lessons from you. Really support you being here.
Yeah.
Because it's not often that we as Canadians get world-class players, you know, especially as approachable as what you are. We don't get them often up here. And
I mean, that's just, you know, you live up here in paradise, and it's kind of a trek to get here, and it's tough for me to get through the border. They really like to, you know, they give me the what for, but I'll be back even if you know, I don't break this record, and you know, you don't figure to, really. Nobody figures to break, you know, run 7:14, but I am going to run something, I think, big. I think because I'm healthy right now. My hand's been fixed. I'm in the mood to play.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I'm thinking about straight pull again because of what Jason did. I haven't played really straight pull in 3 years. So now I'm kind of like in straight pull mode. And I think you have a knowledgeable crowd up here around Calgary. They're good players, so they're going to appreciate, these 200 and 300 ball runs. They're going to be like, man, okay, that's some serious pull. And
it is.
And
it is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun thing. I'd love for people to come down here and give me some moral support, in person, just to kind of get the buzz and get me pumped. Because I'm going to try. Well, I know one thing. I'm going to try really hard, and I mean physically, to shoot in 1,000 balls in a day is brutal physically. It doesn't look like it, but Jason will tell you he could barely walk at the end of each day.
Well, and I think we all saw kind of the aftermath of what that was, right? Blisters on his fingers and the whole works. And
my wife used to have to literally push me up to get up into the motorhome. I was so tore up at the end of each day. I was on ice packs and ibuprofen. So I might not do the 6 to 8 hours a day because it's so brutal. It might be more like 3 to 5 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because I just shooting in 1,000 balls a day, you start getting this burn in your shoulder blade and your neck and your lower back and your ankles. I mean, it just gets.
Dude, I get that after 3 games, right? I can't imagine going on a 4 or 5, 3, whatever it's going to be run.
Yeah.
But I mean, we kind of had a conversation, whether it was earlier today or the day before. Forgive me, because my days are all blended into one. But you can never kind of guesstimate how this run's going to go. You can get up there and strip it right away.
Yeah, the first inning I might run 693. I mean, and I also might not break 200 for a few days. You never know. I always try to check my ego at the door when I deal with straight pull because it's a humbling game. I don't like to start making predictions of what kind of numbers I can do. I just do my best and see what happens. And if the balls cooperate and the table's playing conducive to a big run, then maybe something impressive will happen. But straight pull can make you look like a donkey, believe me.
Absolutely.
So I don't try to talk like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and I think I think you set your level of expectation at the right spot.
Yeah.
Just go out and do your best.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
Yeah, and my high run for the whole 12 days might be 282 or something, and if that's what's going to happen, then that's all I can do. But I'm going to give her a go,
Well, and you touched on it again, right? Where if it doesn't happen this time, there is going to be another time. I'm going to put up a quick little poster for everybody. We do have the Canada Open coming up. This is the amateur side.
Nice.
The 2022 CSI Western Canadian Championships. This is running alongside the Predator Pro Series that we are bringing up here to Canada. That's happening August 16th to 20th.
Oh, it's in Red Deer.
Yeah, Red Deer.
Oh, right on. Red Deer's
about an
nice.
hour and a half from here.
Perfect.
So, if it doesn't happen on this run, maybe
I'll be back for that and give it another go.
Maybe there's another opportunity for us to kind of get together and see what we can make happen.
Well, for me, after playing pool all these years and playing all the different games, I like it when I go to a town and I kind of play straight pull and then they all like straight pull or one pocket. I would like to kind of get people fired up about one pocket while I'm here and some straight pull. And, because you guys already play very good snooker, very good 8-ball, very good 10-ball. Maybe we throw in some one pocket and straight pull and kind of broaden the horizons.
100%.
Because I'll tell you this, all the people listening at home that play bar table 8-ball, and that's a fantastic game, and everybody's trying to get better, me included. You talk to any world champion that's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, the Hopkins and Rempes and Varners and Mizrak, I could go on and on. 99% of them learned how to play pool playing straight pool, and will tell you
100%.
That's the best game. So I don't know why straight pool's so fantastic, but I won a U.S. Open playing 9-ball by practicing straight pool, believe it or not. I didn't practice 9-ball at all getting ready for that event.
I think the what makes straight pool interesting is it kind of ties into all games.
Sure.
Right? There's 8-ball patterns that you can apply to straight pool or apply straight pool to 8-ball patterns and vice versa. The same as 9-ball, same as every other game out there. So really, it's the ideal practice scenario.
Well, the I don't know what the right word is, but the sports guys that study how to improve and how to get better, they pretty much all agree, I believe, that it's to get good at anything, it's about deliberate practice. It's not just about practicing hitting balls 12 hours a day. When you play straight pull, you are really deliberately practicing. You're trying to break your own high run, whether that high run is 18 or 218. You got your mindset on something, you're focusing. I don't know. There's something about straight pull that kind of gets you just lost in what you're doing and gets you in stroke.
So playing the ghost, I think, would also be
absolutely
tie right in, nice little hand in a glove scenario.
Yeah, with what you're doing with Q Sports Live and playing the 10-ball ghost. The reason the 10-ball ghost is first of all, that's a great way to play the game of 10-ball because it removes all the luck with the kicking and you hook me when you miss and all that BS. But you learn how to shoot power shots with side spin, and then that's going to be the foundation for your pool game.
100%.
Yeah.
I always like to think that with practicing and playing the Ghost, and we've got all the games, depending on what division you're in, determine what games you play. So the lower divisions, they'll play 8-ball, 9-ball.
Yeah.
And as you kind of move up through, then you get to graduate into 10-ball.
Yeah.
But you're adding purpose to your practice under pressure.
Oh, yeah, and playing on live stream. I mean, even with all the stuff I've been through at pool, I played like some live stream event, and I mean, it's the real deal when you hit that button and you go live, because now you know your pride and your ego's on the line. You want to look good. You want to play good.
Well, and it's
a lot of pressure, you know.
I'll tell you, we've had so many players come on, and you know, it's so much different than just going down banging balls in the basement, right?
Of course.
You turn that live stream on. We've had people come in that have been players and they know how to play, and they turn that live stream on, and that's when it hits them.
Deer in headlights, and they clam up a little bit. Yeah.
Right now, what that does is if you stick with that and you work your way through it,
it's fantastic.
Number one, you get to learn the aggressive side of the game, right? It's going to teach you that, because there's nowhere to hide. There's no safeties to play.
Nowhere to hide.
Right? You miss.
No.
Game over.
You turn that camera on, it's like having to go out and sing the national anthem buck naked at Yankee Stadium on a cold day. And you're just going like, what have I signed up for here, you know?
Right.
So, the playing on the live stream is really good. It's good for anybody.
Yeah.
There's no way that won't help you focus and help you relax under pressure. And then you don't get so uptight when you're in the finals, or you're trying to go to Vegas and win for your team.
And I kind of got a good taste of what that's like, especially at the high caliber. So I was throwing on Ben Francis and their team in that was in Great Falls, or not Great Falls, Niagara Falls. And to play with those guys under that type of pressure at that caliber.
Yep, that's right.
I'll tell you what, that was a lesson right there.
I alluded to this last night. We did a little thing at your house on the podcast, and something that the recreational players don't get credit for is that they are almost always playing team event. There's nothing that's more pressure than a team event. Like for me, I've only played a team event 3 or 4 times in my whole life.
Yeah.
You guys are always playing a team event where you're trying to not let others down.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of pressure. And then you throw in the live stream and the team, and oh my God.
And then the crowd standing around, right? I mean,
of course. And then you have
it can get pretty intense.
And then you have the pressure of if somebody's like not an advanced player, and you've got your 2 champions standing there lording over you while you're trying to run. It's a lot of heat, man.
It is.
It's
a lot to sweat
like
off,
singing
let me tell you.
karaoke in front of Lady Gaga or something. You know, like no matter how good you think you're doing, you know she's over in the corner going, what an idiot.
Right, right. Got her arms crossed, right? So I will put up, we do have another session for those that are interested of the CSL IPL Q Sports Live International Pool League. It's starting on May 9th. So cutoff is this Friday, May 7th. We've got a division for everybody. It doesn't matter where you're located. You play once a week, either 15 or 20 games, whenever you choose throughout the week that you want to play it. So we don't schedule the times. You pick your times.
Yep.
You can self-assess what division that you play in. You go onto the website. It'll tell you, give you a description of the type of player that's in each one of those divisions. And a short session, quick and easy for summertime, 6 weeks. So you'll end up playing 6 times whenever you so choose. So you can get more information on that on our website.
Well, I've said this before, but this is the way pool should be played, because for like 100 pros to all get on planes and meet in one area, I mean, we've spent $200,000 on traveling expenses, when instead I could sit there and play Ruslan Chinnikov. He's in Russia, and 100%. I'm in Hesperia, and it doesn't cost us 5 cents. It's like with all the CEOs doing Zoom calls. Instead of flying all the CEOs to a convention center spending $1 million. So pool, this is what you're doing. You're like doing Zoom call for pool. And
That's it. And we've got the rules now. So, I mean, when we first started this, there was definitely a lot of ghost tournaments out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we took it a step further. We wanted to do something a little bit different and create Ghost League. And there was no manual for what we were doing. Right. We just kind of had to go off of our own knowledge and, adapt the rules for ghost play and so on and so forth. But we got it pretty nailed down right now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have some minor adjustments still, some tweaking, so on and so forth, but we're always accessible to bounce feedback off and give us ideas and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So,
and you'll be getting a Predator 9-footer at the Q Sports Live headquarters.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really cool. People will be able to play matches there on live stream. I mean, that'll be cool.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
So again, May 9th is the start, 7th is the cutoff. You can check it out, cslipl.com for more information.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to having you here, John.
Yeah.
Not only as a friend of mine, but hopefully a friend of the rest of Calgary as they get to know you the way that I know you. And I really look forward to having you here for the next 3 weeks and doing some damage. So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll keep you posted as things kind of develop and we get more of a schedule put together.
Yeah.
Now that we have to rearrange it because of table.
Sure. Yeah, we could do little podcast interviews just to kind of give an update each time. And what I did last time when I was trying to break that record, I was doing these little 2-minute videos, just kind of updating people on how I was feeling, what I was thinking, if I, and man, I'll tell you, I look back after I broke the record and I saw the videos of me like the day before, and I mean, I just looked so beat up, so ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And,
pushed one more.
Oh, it's going to be rough. I mean, what I'm signing up for is it's like banging your head against the wall just 8 hours a day, because everything short of the record is like a loss.
Yeah.
You go to a tournament and run 280, they carry you out on their shoulders. And this, it's like, oh, dang it, you suck. Start over and, start over, loser.
Right.
So,
thanks for coming, old timer.
Yep.
But no, I think listen, I said it once before. I'm going to say it again. I think if there's anybody out there that could give that number a run for the money, there's maybe one other guy. That
you have to have a certain playing style and skill set and stuff. And I'd like to think that I'm one of the players. I've always said I'm not the best straight ball player. I just would like to be thought of as in that group.
100%.
And I think I'm in that group still.
I think you're there.
I'm going to put
I mean, listen, let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade, so to speak. To pull off even what you've pulled off, there may be 3-4 players on the planet that could do a 6.26. Jason's got a 7.14.
Yeah, there's a pretty small crew.
There might be 3 other players. That could give that
for me, what I try to do real quick is I try to get. I'm kind of wrapped up in numbers. Everything was always about, like with golf, I was looking at my putting stats, and pools the same thing. The big runs will come if you're a guy that runs 300 often and 400 often. Well, the big runs will come. Okay,
absolutely.
So for me, I try to just run 300 balls a lot, and then maybe a big run will come together. So that's my thinking.
Well, it's the same in any game of pool, no matter what we play, right? There's going to be an element of luck that has to be there. The table conditions got to be right. The air's got to be right. The ball's got to break out right.
Be polished and everything.
Yeah,
be right.
I mean, there's so many things that have to go right for this to happen. And I'm going to do my level best to ensure that those things are done
What
right.
What is the record in this Q Sports Live 10-ball Ghost? How many racks in a row? What's the high so far?
I think it's actually Ben Francis. 18 out of 20.
He did 18 out of 20?
18 racks out of 20. Yeah,
that's good.
And he could have ran the 20, but I can't really show it on
camera.
No,
that's impressive.
It's really it was an impressive run.
Yeah. That is, especially on these diamonds. Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Ben's a great player, and I really like him. Got to know him quite a bit in the last couple of days, so he'll be a sparring partner of mine, and he's kind of into the one pocket too, so him and I'll play a little one pocket. Yeah, I'm having a good time. This is almost like a vacation for me to come up here. On the 24th is a very important day for me. For 6 years, I've been trying to get my wife's immigration handled, and we finally have the big interview where they take you in separate rooms. And my wife is freaking out because she's like, you have to know this date on our anniversary, my birthday. And I said, babe, all they got to do is listen to us argue for 30 seconds. They're like, they're a couple. They're going to get stamp of approval.
Done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll maybe take a quick couple of questions if you're still all right.
Sure, fire away.
We've got one from James on YouTube. Do you like the template, or do you think it's cheating?
Well, no, it's not cheating, but it's just that nobody's used one in the history of mankind.
Yeah. I
mean, I guarantee Mosconi's like rolling over in his grave going, well, I would have liked to use the template. I might have ran 700. Now, Jason, what he did is incredible to run 714, but because nobody in the past, me included, have used a template, I don't quite know where to put it. It's like there's the template record, and then there's the John Schmidt record where he racked by hand. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of the template. It's just that I wish he wouldn't have used one because nobody else has ever used one.
Yeah.
So it. I used a Sardo rack, but the Sardo rack, it will impede the break ball. It gets in the way.
Yeah.
And, the template, I'm going to use a template this time because, Jason did it. And so from here forward, I guess everybody's going to use one.
Yeah.
But if I had my druthers, no, a template would not be used. If you really want to know the truth, it says right in the BCA rule book that you cannot use anything glued down to the table. So that's why I never used a template. I mean, I've known that the balls open better if they're froze together with a template, but I didn't want to get lucky, break the record, and then be told it doesn't count. Well, he does it with a template, and I guess it's going to count. So from here forward, I suppose it's we're going to use templates.
Game on.
Game on.
As they say.
That's fine. That's not taking anything away from what he did. It's just that it's different. And so going forward, I guess we all have to use a template or you're going to have like two different kinds of, records.
So Chris has a comment: to miss my wedding, I want to see 800 plus.
Oh, that's my buddy Christopher Lloyd Wood, a great buddy of mine.
Yeah.
He's actually an ex-pro UFC fighter, big boy, a great bodyguard when I'm hanging out with him, and he's a real good dude. And I'm going to try, Chris. I'll tell you that.
Very nice. Try. Well, John, listen, I don't want to keep you. I know, we've got some dinner to eat. We got things that we need to do. But listen, man, I really appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you taking the time. And let me tell you, I look forward to what the next couple of weeks has in store for us.
Yeah, the viewers, what Grant goes through just to even set up this interview. Like, you brought in all kinds of equipment, and it's a lot of physical labor on your part, and you're doing this for the players and stuff. So it's the least I could do.
From my perspective, what I go through and what I do is for the love of the game.
Yeah,
right.
No, you love the game. For
it
sure.
just it translates, I guess, into what it is that we do here at Q Sports Live.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah,
but
you're looking sharp in your Predator Jam Up clothing. I've got mine on too. I love it.
You know it.
And I'll be sporting it in my straight pull attempts. And so see everybody down here. Hope to meet a lot more.
Absolutely,
Canadians
guys. Like I said before, if you're in this city, no excuses. Come on down. Help support John and his runs and take some lessons and so on and so forth. Enjoy him while he's here. I got to know John over the last couple of weeks, and I'll tell you what, one hell of a good guy. People come down and meet me, they're going to find out I like motorcycles and guns and fishing and camping and golf and pool and silver and cryptos. And so, we'll find something to talk about. Absolutely.
And
you're an easy guy to
talk to.
Right?
I'm just a normal guy that likes all kind of stuff, and pool's one of them. So if you're in the area, come in and say hi. I'd be happy to meet you.
Love it.
Okay.
Well, guys, listen, on behalf of myself, Mr. 626 himself, Ben Francis, the rest of the Q Sports Live team, thanks for taking the time out of your guys' night. I know we got playoff hockey on, so all of Canada's glued to their screens right now, but we appreciate it nonetheless, and we'll keep you all updated. Pay attention to the Q Sports Live page. We'll send out some updates and kind of let you know what's going on, when those attempts are going to be done, and of course, we'll be bringing you all the action here on Q Sports Live.
Right on. Peace out.
Appreciate it.